meeting to order. Minutes of the previous meeting.
Move they be approved as written.
I second.
Motion second, we approve the minutes as written. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. January financial statements, Chris.
Yeah, we'll point out, added page number to the first page, so they're all shifted down a little bit. So we'll go to our page 2, so operating cash flow, just go quick through that. We took in $616,065. We spent $484,770, not including our monthly transfers to our escrow funds. Left us with a balance of $1,003,487. We didn't spend a lot on inventory or capital this month, but we did put out almost $100,000 for insurance, and that was workers' comp. And then we had an extra payment for our health care, which went into prepaid because we already had one for January. And on page 2 or 3, our metered sales were up a little bit over forecast and over the prior year. Our expense categories were pretty decent except for distribution, but we had quite a few purchases in there from Walsh and Kelly for supplies and repairs for equipment. And then our general line has annual support of $21,500 for our software. Left us with a net income for the month of $48,500, which was a little higher than forecast and better than the prior year. And on page 4, everything there is pretty close to forecasted amount, except for our materials and supplies, which is where our Walsh and Kelly and our equipment repairs fell. Our transportation's a little bit high. We had some tires for the vehicle and heavy equipment repairs that fell in there. Randy and I talked a little bit about making a change for 2020. We're going to start accruing our sludge removal on a monthly basis instead of waiting for sanitation to bill us, because sometimes they don't bill for 3 or 4 months. So our water and sanitation's a little high. We're going to start with $3,900 per month for sludge removal. And that's where it's going to fall in there. So when we do get a billing from sanitation now, we won't have it on the expense statement.
I've been keeping track of that for the last several years, so we took an average the last 3 years, what it would be for a monthly basis, and then how we came up with that number.
And then on page 6, the only thing I'll point out, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, our bond payments are due this week. I'll be making those probably on Thursday or Friday, and they're going to come out of that top redemption fund. Unless there's any questions, that's all I've got.
Did you say page 6?
Yes,
Yeah.
there's a page 6.
Okay.
All right, any questions of Chris? All right, thank you.
Need a motion. Okay.
What?
Motion to approve as.
Oh, yeah. Someone like to make a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second, we approve the financials as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Purchase orders.
Okay, you have a list of 4 items there. The Cubic Networks, that's also part of the phone system. It's going to be we're updating our complete network system here. We're having so much equipment failure downstairs. We're hoping that this will correct that. So that's what that's for. Software solutions, that's for our Trend Micro renewal for our server. That's a 2-year agreement. And then Dixon Engineering, that's for the exterior warranty inspection on the Carolaf tank, which will be done this year. That should have been in their engineering fees. Somehow it got taken out by mistake, or they didn't put it in there to bid on it or price it out. So that's what that $2,000 is. So
Is that network, is that part of our new
Yeah, that'll be
System.
part of the new system.
Okay.
It's just a different, it's an offshoot of New Age.
Okay. All right. The Carroll Ave.
Okay, we want to close this project out. As you know, there were several claims with decals flying all over the place and paint and stuff and splatters off the tank. Well, everything's been adjusted and paid for and everybody's happy out there now. The only one that has not signed off on the claim, and that's Terry Mosier of the car wash. He's got decals still stuck to his roof, but the contractor has turned that over to the insurance company, so it's in their hands. I talked to our insurance provider, and they said as long as they're handling it, we should be fine. If they don't, we don't have anything to worry about. They'll cover whatever we got to worry about, but we shouldn't have to worry about it. So what I'd like to do here is go ahead and get approval to pay the final and release retainage of $21,669.
Is there a statute of limitation with our insurance, if their insurance?
No.
So we're covered
Yeah.
if their insurance doesn't?
Yeah.
I move we authorize that payment.
I second.
Been moved and seconded that we authorize the payment to Dixon Engineering for the Carroll Ave project and release the retainage.
Thank you.
Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The corrosion control.
Okay, last week we opened one proposal on this. It came in at $317,500, which was well over the engineer's estimate. Wessler sent a letter back indicating we should withdraw and not accept the proposal, which I agree. It's well over that. I put some thoughts together on what maybe we should do. I'd like to call a couple smaller contractors here in town, talk to them, see if they're willing to do something for us. And then the other thing is we could buy some of this equipment ourselves through the suppliers that we normally deal with. That would cut down the middleman cost, and we may get a discount because of being a municipal utility too. But we would contact, like, for instance, Deutscher for concrete work, for masonry, or Austin, or whoever. Sweeney Electric, who does a lot of our electrical work down there, keep our freights for our SCADA system, and then get the project done. See where all these prices come in and see where we fall.
Is there any sense of urgency to this?
No, not really. We got the coupons racks installed, and we're testing those on a monthly basis. And what they do is, it's a corrosion type thing. They put different metals in there, and we see how corrosive our water is. I think they have to take them out once a month, and then they replace them. It's not that urgent, but I do know that when the lead and copper regulations change, which will be coming out sometime this year, I'm pretty sure that everybody's going to be required to put a corrosion control system in place in their system. We're just trying to be ahead of the game on this.
How's that water coming out with all these tests as far as our corrosive?
If we only grabbed 2 of those so far. I haven't really heard too much about it.
Yeah. So we're actually, our employees are going to actually do this instead of hiring?
No, we'll still get a contractor to do it, and the engineering firm will still kind of come over and look over it, but we'll pick the contractors to give us a price just to see where we're at.
Because this was, what, double almost?
$182,000 over, yeah, was
Yeah.
part of it. So, we don't have to take any action. If you don't mind, I'd like to be able to make some phone calls and see where we're at, let them look at the plans, and at least get prices.
Yeah, I don't think it should be on the burner. I think you're on the right track. I think we should keep moving with this,
Yeah.
because I remember they were talking about this,
Any reason why we got just one bid?
I don't
That you can
understand.
think of?
Wessler was gonna get a hold of Bowen and find out why they were up about 159,000 so far, and that didn't include everything. Some of these people just declined to, Larson Danielson, Ton and Blank, they just weren't interested in bidding because it's typically not their kind of work they do. Superior Construction, I was surprised they didn't submit. But Bowen, they did our plant expansion down there. So did Superior Construction, and I'm surprised they didn't bid. But a lot of times now, they're already gearing up for their spring work, and they're probably got all their crews spoken for.
All right, any questions of Randy?
So we'll just, if I can get a motion maybe to reject the bid, and we'll start from scratch and just get local contract, just go by.
Yeah, motion to reject bid from approval for water
Second.
system
Carrier,
control.
yeah.
Yeah.
Motion and second that we reject the bid we received for the corrosion control project.
I'll second that.
Motion and second, any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, Mr. You want to give us a report on well, I guess that's old business. Dale Brown,
Haven't,
just sent the letter out.
yeah, haven't heard any more from him. Just waiting to reply. So again, for 12-inch main extension up on Highway 20, just east of Highway, or Woodland Ave.
Okay. Any old business? How's the network coming?
They were in here, they're gonna start down at the treatment plant because there's some extra work that needs to be done down there first. So they'll get going on that. Now, are you talking about the billing network type stuff?
Both.
We've been, okay. So the phone system is starting to progress. That's in the works, and this will follow that. The billing system, we've been in contact with them, and they've been a little bit behind in their stuff with everybody else jumping on board with what they need to do. So I know Chris has been in contact with them. So they're working on it. It's just the other Chris, but they're a little bit behind.
Do we have a finish date in mind?
Like to have it in place by the end of this year, so we're good for 2021, but I think it's gonna go quick once they get everything going.
All right. Any other old business? New business? No new business? Public comment? No public comment? Director's comment? I'd like to congratulate Randy on the winning the Fuller Award, which was presented to him down at the Indiana State Convention. It's the most prestigious award that can be given to an individual, and Randy was this year's recipient. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And you were surprised too, right? That was a
It
surprise.
was very much a surprise because knowing that the family was down there, didn't know all that was gonna happen. It was, and then with my daughter getting the baby that weekend before, it just all kind of snowballed into one big whirlwind. But
Did
it
you know
was-
the family was coming down to Indy?
No, I did not. I didn't know.
I saw the picture and I wondered how did they keep that a secret?
That was a surprise, and we were sitting at the table and everybody's pointing at you. That's you. That's you. I said, no, it's not. No, it's not. And then when they said the West Shore Water Producers Association, then I put my head on my shoulder, on my hands, because I just knew that was me, because I was the only one down there who was a member of that. So, but it's a very gratifying award to have. It's like the top of the tree. I can't go any higher, and I'm happy. So
Well deserved, Randy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
congratulations.
thank you. So
All right, any other director's comments? Now I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion second that we adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.